Hey, as somebody on the journey to self-healing and self-discovery and self-awareness, and I feel like I've trekked the path long enough to be able to speak on the practices that I have obtained and maintained in order to keep myself where I feel most aligned spiritually, vibrationally, energetically, in body and in mind. So that being said, one of the things that I notice a lot, and somebody brought to my attention recently, a pattern that I think exists in a lot of us who are soul-seeking and truly on the path of self-discovery, which is when we change and we're in a partnership, there is some projection onto our partner of what they need to change also. So if you're not doing the same strategies or using the same tools as I am, then you're either wrong or you're not doing it, with me, and maybe we're going to grow apart or whatever. And the thing about this is in a relationship that we feel safe enough to even consider those projections, that we even have time to create those projections, it's very likely that the person that we're in a relationship with doesn't even have to do the kind of work that we have to do. Like, some people just they've never been to the depths of what you go to, or they just don't have to. They've never been forced to empath with other people the way that you have, or they've never been forced to really dig in the darkness of their human condition and to come out of it. And that doesn't mean they're any less wise. Some people are incredibly, incredibly aligned, and that is a beautiful gift. And that there is wisdom in true alignment. And I think we live in a society that has ideas that you have to, suffer to be wise, or I see people even making up stories about their lives simply because their story was too good almost to be true. So they would give themselves an eating disorder or something just to feel like they had something to speak about. So I just want to say really quickly that when we're projecting onto our partners that they need to change with us, we know, obviously, that our change is all about us, and we have to do it from the inside out because, even if we have a partner and they're changing with us, they're not changing for us. And when we are busy projecting onto them what they need to change, it's really easy to be distracted from our own work. That said, the most important thing to remember is that there comes a time in self-work where plateaus aren't considered good in life. But the truth is, there comes a point where you've done enough work that you get to be with yourself. Like, monks don't go and dig in for what they need to change to perfect themselves. They sit in the experience of being with themselves. And if you are a self-work junkie, whether you're in a relationship and projecting that onto your partner or not, that they need to change with you, which just we don't have to do that. We can find community who needs the same tools that we needed to get out of situations that our partners just simply won't understand because they've either had a normal life or they've had an abnormal life, but they don't have to use the same tools and strategies to change vibrational states the way that we do. For whatever reason, it's just simply not true. So for them, we could actually be dragging them down by asking them to simplify their own wisdom processes and their own visions by using tools that are unnecessary for them. So find a different community to project, your own ideas of what needs to be changed in, within you. Because that's ultimately what we'll do. We'll say, well, it would be much easier for me to change if you would change first. Just stop doing that, okay? Because it's actually not true. It's actually seriously not true. I'm not going to get into it, but it's actually not true that we would change if they would change first. It would be disastrous, and everyone would be so out of alignment, it would be whack. And it wouldn't be a relationship you would want to be in anyway. So, that said, be with yourself. When you find yourself nitpicking your partner, or you find yourself basically addicted to self-help and growing and perfecting because you have to be a perfectionist and you have to be the most perfect being that there is, just for your own sanity and, your own, that's who you strive to be, your highest potential, that's awesome. But there comes a point where you get to sit with the experience of where you've come and how far you've come, and to just sit with the wonderment of what if I really left the future up to God? What if I really just like kind of backed off my high horse about how this show has to go and sat with the experience of all that I've created thus far and who I've become thus far? And what if I looked at my partner and just considered like, oh, wow, this person actually loves me for exactly where I am? And how does that feel? Like, what if I don't need to change anything? What if I never needed to change anything again? So it's so important to take a break sometimes. And I don't even mean a break, but there's a way to do self-work. I want everyone to be self-aware, but not when they're trying to be self-aware from the ego. So if we make it our job to be like, I am the most aware person in the world, and that becomes our identity, that is coming, it's from a pushy place of ego, instead of this pull, like kind of vibration that comes from I'm being pulled in the direction of being like myself. And when I am pulled, I normally am not busy projecting what other people need to change. That's a pushy vibration. So when we are self-aware and are pulled, we will inevitably come to a point where we just say, okay, I'm going to just plateau here for a while. This feels really good. And I just want to experience the place, the level that I actually have come to. And nobody needs to meet me here. I don't need my partner to be exactly where I am. You know, I get to be witness to where I am as I am, and they get to be witness to me where I am as I am. And that's simply it. We don't have to be like, you know, constantly Bonnie and Clyding it of, you know, self-help and self-realization. So when you find yourself nitpicking about what your partner needs to change, because you need the tools and it would be easier for you to actually just like have a partner who would hold you to using them constantly, just take a step back and just seriously take a step back from your own work, because you're doing it all wrong. It's too pushy. It's too based in when I get this, then I'm going to be okay, instead of really being, just simply being in the state of where you are and being okay with it. So I hope this was helpful. You're allowed, you have permission to just like plateau every once in a while and experience where you've come. I love you. Have a good day.